Baby and I are headed out to do a barn check, and what greeted me but a pile of shoes. And this is a common vision on my porch, just a pile of shoes. And a lot of times I look at it as, whew, oh golly, another thing to pick up. But today I'm looking at it as a sign of life. Our house is teeming with people, and that is a great thing. And that kind of brings me to my point. I want to talk about prayer. If you have people in your life, you got to have relationships with them, or build relationships, or work on those relationships. And prayer is about building and maintaining a relationship with God. And it is vital to our lives as moms. I bring this up because it's been a very popular topic of discussion on all of my mom social media forums. How do you find time to pray? What do you do to pray? And it can be difficult when you're trying to live in America, where life is fast-paced, where we have school to plan, sports to get to, diapers to change, meals to plan, grocery stores to go to, animals to take care of, farms to build, homesteads to maintain. But Pope Benedict XVI said that time spent in prayer is never wasted, however urgent the duties that press upon us from every side. And as a mother and a wife, I find that to be extraordinarily relevant to me, because things do pull me in all kinds of directions. And I want to use my time wisely, and it's important to remember that that's not wasted time. Hi, donkeys. Prayer is not wasted time. Prayer is presence. And what is more important than being present to the people that are in your life, so that you can learn to love them better and learn to be loved and receive love. So that's why Eucharistic adoration is like our favorite way to pray. Serafina was at adoration in that clip just before, and Catholics believe that Jesus Christ is present, body, blood, soul, and divinity in the Eucharist. And so we want to be with him physically on earth. So that's why we show up in church when he's exposed in the monstrance or enclosed in the tabernacle. But it's not always easy to be going into the church and to be physically present in Jesus, or with Jesus in the Eucharist. So what I do is make acts of adoration throughout the day. One of my dearest priest friends suggested I do that, and I set my iPhone alarm a couple times a day to remind me to make an act of adoration. And that can be as simple as kneeling at the foot of my bed right when I wake up in the morning. Even if the baby's squirming in the bed sheets needing to be brought out, it's important that I kneel down in front of my crucifix and I just say something simple like, Lord, I love you, or Jesus, be with me today, or help me to serve you. Maybe I repeat a verse that I've memorized from the Bible or from some other form of prayer. Yes, and I also have that programmed in to do at noon before I serve lunch, or if I come to a stoplight, I try to do that. Build some of that very brief prayer into routine moments of my life. Maybe when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm praying. So that's a way that I fit prayer into my life. As a wife and mom, of course, we pray the rosary. We do Christian prayer, we use the Magnificat, Divine Mercy Chaplet, all those beautiful, rich devotions in our faith. We make use of those in our family. Sometimes those can be difficult moments because maybe there's a baby I'm juggling in my lap, or maybe the toddler is being a little bit silly and squirmy. And so prayer time with the family becomes a moment of discipline or frustration for mom and dad, but there are things you can do to overcome that too. But it's important to take time for your own self to pray, to be present with Jesus, just like you're taking time to be present to your husband when he comes home from work. You could just kind of like, maybe he walks in the door and you're busy, chopping vegetables for the stew, and you're talking to him, and that's great and that's important, but are you engaged? Like, are you listening? Are you being present to him? Or are you stopping the chopping of the onions and making eye contact with him and listening to what he's got to say? Or just saying, honey, I love you. So those analogies from my life as a wife are very helpful when I'm trying to build a relationship with God. I know he's always there and present for me, but I need to open my eyes and be present to him. So those acts of adoration throughout the day, that's something that I love to do. So, Serafina, what would you do if I took you to church today? Huh? I don't know. You'd probably be a really good girl. But I'm going to set my iPhone right now to remind me to make an act of adoration at 3 o'clock. So maybe you could do the same thing. Stop the video after you subscribe, of course, and cue yourself to pray today, to make an act of adoration, to just be present to God and let Him be present to you and listen. So that's how we do it. That's how we do it, even though we're busy. It's not wasted time.